Hello dear Sinceres, so today we are going to look at the astro-weather of March 2022 to see what the month has in store for us. I will also be posting sign by sign predictions after, so make sure you check that out. I will put some links in the end of the video so you can see the playlist for that. And if you are new to this channel, then welcome. My name is Cynthia Sincere. I'm an astrologer and holistic coach. For this month of March, we start off beautifully with the Sun, of course, in Pisces, soon to be joined by the Moon on the 2nd of March, for which I already made a video, which you should be seeing in a note, in the rooftop note. If you want to know more about this fantastic new moon, you can go there and watch it. But as a recap, this new moon is being accompanied by the god of gods, Jupiter, bringing us a dreamy vibration together with positivity, optimism, joy, expansion to achieve our dreams, our goals, and be more open to the universe, to seeing things from a spiritual perspective, more cultural embracing and open to diversity of cultures, of people, of ideas, and is not totally far from Neptune, which adds to the creativity, to the dream kind of spirituality of Pisces. Mars and Venus and also Vesta are still dancing together in Capricorn when we start this month, still inspiring with the tones of romance, vibration that keeps spreading around, but also inspiring us to chase what we love, care for, what we want to defend, to protect in a proactive, determined, strategic way. However, they are also conjuncting Pluto, which can be giving them a more intensity, laser focus, but also can bring tones of obsession, control, aggression, and power struggles, domination. Pluto can kind of excite Mars' aggressive side and warlike tendencies, which is a theme we can kind of see with the current situation between Ukraine and Russia dilemma. And since Mars in Capricorn is exalted, it's very strong here, even more than Venus. And because these are also the last degrees of Capricorn when we start this month of March, these last rules are also ruled by Saturn in the Ptolemaic dignity table, and adds to this kind of theme of control, of restriction, of authority, of a power grab of some kind. And we then have Saturn and Mercury together, which can talk about restriction of information, censorship, control of the internet, since it's in Aquarius, which is related to technology. But it also lends the mind and communication a sense of strategy, of maturity, of groundness, a down-to-earth perspective that seeks to plan ahead for the future and being more practical and trying to make the most of what is present to reach one's goals. We are also still going to have Uranus sextiling Jupiter, so there is a kind of a heavenly help, as this divine and angelic presence is available to us if we ask it. But it can also increase the rebellion of the people towards governments and authorities. And this will still be, while this conjunction, the sextile lasts, will still be great to connect to higher spheres, to access synchronicities, to expand our knowledge, our perspective of the world. So I've also made a video about this aspect of Uranus sextiling Jupiter that you can check, and I should put the notes somewhere on the rooftop. And from the 4th to the 6th of March, we will have Sun and Jupiter in exact conjunction, very close to Neptune. And so this will give a sense of optimism, of confidence in having a high vision, a higher perspective, of wanting to accomplish big things, expand our horizons, our ideals, a desire for freedom, feeling more adventure, to have a juicier life, and a way of being that is much more juicy, and having more confidence in our endeavors and success. And we may also experience strokes of luck in the house where this conjunction happens, because this is in Pisces. We should take care not to get overly confident and dreamy about the future, and then have no strategy or practical way to follow through on our dreams. We may also hear about leaders being put on a pedestal or having more kind of prominence in the collective. And with Neptune, our imagination will be at an all-time high. We might feel much more inclined to reach the divine or to connect to a higher philosophy ideal, to be more creative, to listen more music. But also we may have become a little bit more influenceable by the media, by the mass media, with a kind of a difficulty in seeing things clearly and objectively, almost as if there is this kind of fog in the eyes, which might be more the case when Sun is exact with Neptune on the 13th of March. On the 6th of March, Venus and Mars will also be conjuncting at 0 degrees in Aquarius, activating the 2020 Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, which might be talking about a new futuristic way of relating romantically and with other people in general, of our relationships. And this time around, both planets are in equal foot, as Mars will not be longer in exaltation. But being in Aquarius might talk about being future-oriented and bringing new ways of resolution of conflicting groups or humanity. We might see more groups forming with similar goals, interests that are aiming at a humanitarian goal or vision, preparation for the future, like off-grid groups or groups that are standing for freedom, that are focusing on making a stand against the government, against the authority that wants to take over, that wants to control the freedom of the people. On the 7th of March at 22 degrees of Pisces, Neptune will enter a shadow retrograde period. It's not retrograde still when he reaches 22nd degrees, but it's the beginning of its shadow period. On the 11th of March, Mercury will be entering Pisces, stimulating our creativity, dreams, helping us also be more intuitive, accessing spiritual messages, being more psychic. But also Mercury is not always the happiest in Pisces. This is because Pisces makes Mercury struggle with getting to the facts, with practicality and strategy in the mind, and it makes things much more foggy, much more confusing and distorted, and may even lead to escapism and avoidance. And it's like the downside of Mercury in Pisces would be like a Mercury that is getting drunk or taking drugs when things are not okay. However, Mercury can manifest this beautiful side that is quite musical, that is quite artistic, that is quite open to create wonderful things with this influence of Pisces. On the 18th of March, we will have the full moon in Virgo. And this full moon was not going to be a very bad full moon. It will be good actually, which will help us to reevaluate our practical sense, our attention to detail, and pay more attention to our health routines, discipline, the small things of our day-to-day life. And it will be asking us to not just dream or to escape to this wonderful dreamy world or rely on some kind of divine magic without us getting our hands dirty, without us dealing with our day-to-day life, with our earthly life, with the things that are in front of our faces right then and there. It will ask us to pay attention to that as well, to check if the clothes been washed, if the dishes have been done, and to pay attention to the problems we may have been neglecting while we are staying in this kind of dreamy world and all is so heavenly and wonderful. It's a little bit like a Marie Kondoing of the house, where you will have this full moon, where you will try to put things in order and let go of the clutter, get rid of the clutter, what doesn't serve you anymore, brings you joy. But this kind of full moon can also bring some side that is about anxiety and about being a little bit picky. And from the 20th to the 24th of March, we will be feeling Venus and Mars squaring Uranus. They will also be in conjunction with Juno, which might originate or could originate sudden breakups or sudden unions or unexpected changes of relationship directions, of parties deciding to go in different directions because they cannot get to an agreement, or having a stronger desire and sudden unexpected actions taken towards getting to a place of freedom, sudden changes in the way that people are relating to one another. And it's also a sign for worldwide sudden events that could shock us and leave us in a state of wanting to be progressive and forward, but wondering if we go that with love or we fall into the desperation and go to war. Do we decide to go there together, or would it be better to part ways so we don't keep fighting? And overall, we might see also a much more bigger cry for freedom and much more protests around this period all over the world. I say all over the world, but in some areas of the world. On the 20th, the Sun will enter Aries, so happy birthday, Aries people! And also Mars and Venus will be sextiling Pallas Athena and Chiron. We begin this kind of new zodiacal year in Aries with an energy for action, for taking initiative, for being a pioneer, for humanitarian causes, for freedom. We might feel like fighting for what is important for us, what we value in life and the world, to defend those that are suffering injustices and bring healing and try to heal all areas of life where us ourselves and the world might still be in pain. On the 28th, 29th, Venus, Saturn, and kind of Moon will be also pass in this conjunction. With Mars not too far away, these four will be kind of very close, and they could be bringing a more serious mood where we might feel a sense of solemnity, of kind of our emotions. It could be hurting, but we kind of still have to deal with life and move forward and do what we must do to keep going. A kind of a cleaning up after party and needing to come to terms with dealing with the real world. We might also see that governments could be trying to impose more restrictions, maybe in a different way, and perhaps using even the military for it in some areas of the world. So these are the March predictions I have for you at the moment, though it's all very kind of generalized. But if you want to check what is in store for your sign, please then check my next video playlist for the March sign predictions. I'll see you very soon, and may the cosmos and the stars be with you.